All right, Peter Mazzetta, welcome to the Ekstremsportveko podcast.
Thank you, Andreas. I'm happy
Oh,
to be
it's
here.
I'm really happy to have you here. How's life?
It's pretty good. I'm in Sweden at the moment, having a little project. We're building a van to a customer for her to have in the summertime driving around. You know, in this pandemic times, you can't travel too much now, so you have to stay
Yeah.
inside, the country.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because you're a carpenter too, right? You're not just an extreme sport athlete. You're pretty good with your hands.
Yeah, I'm having kind of both things. Now in the winter time, I've been home spending a lot of time in Sweden and been taking a few of these projects now. So see how that's going to turn out eventually.
Yeah. You think that's going to be a career?
Maybe not full-time career, but maybe a little bit here and there. I see it more as a hobby. I really like to work with my hands too. So I have
Yeah.
I'm renovating my apartment now too. So, but it's on kind of on hold at the moment because I'm building the van. But yeah, I'm kind of
It's
enjoying that stuff.
yeah, it's quite funny that a extreme sport athlete has carpentry as a hobby.
Yeah.
Okay, so Peta, you've been an extreme sport athlete for over 20 years. You
Yeah.
have traveled all over the world and seen and done some of the most crazy things, well, I've ever seen. So, what made you start extreme sport?
I think it started pretty early. I mean, like I started to ski when I was 3 years old, and then started to snowboard when I was 12, and did a couple of winter season down in the Alps in Val d'Isère and Bergastein and up in Åre in Sweden, and took my skydive license in 2001 because I've been hurting myself so bad on snowboard. So like I've been breaking every bone I have. So I thought like I want to be able to walk when I'm older. So I just picked up skydiving, and yeah, it's
How old
been.
were you at that time?
Hmm?
How old were you when you started skydiving?
I was 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that is quite a while ago. And so after you started skydiving, how did you like continue down the path that you've been on today?
In the beginning, I wasn't like going 100% for it. It was just more of a thing that I did in the summertime in Sweden. And I took my tandem rating in 2008. And during that time, I was in a free fly team, like a competition team. And started to hang out more in Voss on different skydive events there. And yeah, it's from there everything it's like climbing a ladder, like you just go a little bit higher, and then it opens up a little bit more, and then you doing different projects with the other athletes, and then boom, suddenly you're in the middle of the thing. So it wasn't really something that I planned. It just like kind of merged naturally during the way. So,
Yeah.
but I would say like yeah, when everything started to roll was like around 2009, probably.
Yeah. So after about 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you're at how many skydives have you done now? The last thing I read was like 8,000 plus. Is that
Yeah,
still
like I
correct?
have close to 9,000 now.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's
How the hell
picking up.
does anyone get 9,000 skydives?
Well, it adds up pretty fast when you work in the sport and you're going to different events. You get quite some jumps. Like I'm working on maybe 8 to 10 events per year, and during those events, I probably do at least yeah, 25, 30 jumps per event. So only the events is like a pretty big chunk of jumps. and then you're doing all the training jumps too. So it adds up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Adds up quickly.
yeah,
But you also have quite a bit of a tunnel time too.
yeah. I'm started to work in the tunnel in 2010, and I've been instructing for 2 years first in Germany in Bottrop, and then I've been freelance coaching since Voss Tunnel opened, pretty much. So I've been freelance coaching since 2012,
Yeah.
and now I have I'm not sure how many hours I have in the tunnel. Like if I calculate everything, maybe 4 or 5 thousand. I don't know.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's like a lifetime of flying just inside that tube.
yeah.
Yeah. But you don't only skydive and fly in the tunnel. You also do base jumping, wingsuiting, and surfing, and a lot of other stuff. What is your like favorite activity to do?
It depends. Like if I've been skydiving a lot, then I kind of enjoying to go surfing for a while. When I've been surfing for a while, I kind of want to go back into the mountains maybe to do some base jumping and combine that with some training in skydiving. So it kind of depends. Like I kind of enjoying all of them. Like it's just like you need to find a good balance with it, you know.
Yeah.
So no, I love every part of it, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I think one of the coolest videos I've ever seen when it comes to extreme sport is the freebase video from 2009.
Oh yeah,
And I just rewatched it just before our conversation here, and I mean the things you were doing back then is the thing you guys probably started a new trend at that time, because I don't think anybody did like free flying and base at that time.
no, it was we were probably. I know people did some head down exits and stuff, but not really free flew afterwards. So I think me and Howard and Christian, we were one of the first ones that did those things. And then the Soul Flyers picked that up too and started to do their thing, which is super impressive what they did too.
Yeah.
But no, it felt like we kind of set the standard for their accomplishments, you know.
Yeah.
But no, it was fun. It was crazy, you know. Like it was. You didn't think too much at that time, you know. If when I think back now, what we did is like, oof, if I would have the knowledge that I have now back then, I'm not sure if we probably would have done it, but maybe a little bit more reserved.
Yeah. Well, the thing about being like younger and crazier is that you just do, you don't think. And
Yeah.
I think that's how things evolve. If you try, like, it's like old dogs. Old dogs don't do like too crazy tricks.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so but you have you've been around the world a bunch of times. Do you have
Mhm.
like any favorite projects that you've done that you think back on?
Yeah, like I had this project with Yuki Summer with Free Fly the World, and
Yeah,
we wanted to have that as a Kickstarter for a concept to sell into different uh, actors that want to promote their scenery and like advertisement in tourism or whatever, you know, just to have a different view of a spot, a
yeah,
spectacular activity in a beautiful spot. So we started out in Switzerland and in Lauterbrunnen, the first one, and then we did the second one in Rio in Brazil.
yeah,
And then we still have we haven't put the project on the side, but we still want to. We have some ideas what we want to do in the future and see if we can gather the crew again and make it happen. But that was a super fun project and really well planned and
and really well executed as well, because I mean the footage and the clips and the scenery and the flying, like everything is like perfectly matched. You guys in suits and nice shirts, looks good.
Yeah, we wanted to have a little bit like I love contrasts, you know, like to have something like that, like crazy, or what do you want to call it, in like in a decent kind of like a clean man's way, you know.
Yeah.
So that was the thought behind it, and yeah, we'll see. Like the what we have in the pipeline is I'm not gonna reveal too much, but it could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, cool. And that was you and Jokke and Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex is a wizard with a camera.
Yeah. Satori Factory, Alex Aymard, like he's one of the best camera flyers in the world when it comes to those things. Like he handles pressure like no one else, and like we had a really good dynamic in the team working together in those kind of jumps. And I think it's really important to have that when you execute those kind of projects, like to have a nice dynamic. Otherwise, especially when it's like, cause we're not using ordinary skydive equipment, we're using base equipment.
Yeah.
Just for us to get more down to the ground and have more spectacular footage. So it requires you to be 120% focused on those kind of jumps, and to have the dynamic in the team really is a requirement.
Yeah. And what altitude do you pull at those jumps?
Oh,
you go low?
it was different, but we pull pretty low at some points. We I don't know, maybe 200 meters or something.
Wow, that's scary.
Well,
at least for me, coming from a skydiving background, it sounds terrifying.
200 meters, where is it, 600 feet or something?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a little bit intense, but like as I said, you need to trust your partners.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like it's really important who you're doing it with.
Yeah, that's true. So how do you make a living from doing skydiving?
Most of the income comes from organizing different events and tunnel coaching.
Yeah.
So those are the big, like just like pretty much teaching.
Yeah.
So those are where I get the most of the income from. Then sometimes when if we get good sponsorships on different projects, you can get a little bit like leftovers from those too, but mainly from teaching other people to skydive or to tunnel fly.
Yeah. So do you have any tips for like new people to the sport who have a dream about becoming a professional skydiver or base jumper or just like extreme sport athlete? What kind of steps would you recommend people take to make it a living?
I think it's important not to focus too much that I want to be there, you know. I think the most important thing is to just go along with the ride and have fun. Like that's the most important thing, because if you have fun in doing something, you can get really good at it.
Yeah.
So like, because in my case, when I look back, I never had the goal of like I want to be a professional skydiver. I never had that kind of goal. It's just suddenly one day I was just like, oh, here I am, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to not be too target locked on the goal.
Yeah.
And just absorb as much as you can during the time or along the way from different mentors or other people in the sports that has been doing it for a long time, that has a lot of experience, and just take it all in during the path you're walking, you know.
Yeah.
And be
Yeah.
humble. Be
Yeah.
humble and listen to the experienced.
Yeah. I made a podcast with David Lafargue, and he told me that he was so tired of people like having this like huge goals. He just like, why don't people just have more fun?
Yeah, but
Everybody's like
it's
thinking forward.
I totally agree with him. Like, it sounds like we're pretty much on the same page when it comes to that.
Yeah. So, what does a typical day in your life look like?
It depends what season it is. Like right now, like for for during the winter time now, I'm coaching in the tunnel here in Sweden and at Bodyflight,
Mm.
and like at least one time a month, like 2 weeks a month maybe, or a week a month,
Yeah.
and between these times I've been working, as I said, like I've been working on building this van for a customer. And summertime, it's a typical day would be somewhere in a drop zone or somewhere in the mountain, base jumping or skydiving. I'm not tunnel flying too much in the summertime because that's the jumping season. But waking up in my van, usually making myself a cup of coffee, take my gear, charging the cameras, go jumping, hang out with friends, having big smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Nice.
it.
Yeah. There's a special interest in the van life these days. I think people like feeling confined due to COVID and stuff, so they're like, "Oh fuck it, I'm just gonna buy a van and sell my house and travel." So, have you been like living the van life?
Yeah, I had a van now since 2014. I actually sold it like 6 months ago, but because I
Yeah.
bought a new one that is a little bit bigger. But I've been living in that van every summer. Like every time I take it out from the winter storage, it's like this overwhelming freedom feeling that kicks in. It's like, yes, it's summertime.
Finally.
And just to have the feeling of living in the vans, this small space, and have freedom. You never have any like need of finding a hotel or anything. You just have your van and you can sleep wherever you want. So
Yeah.
it's the ultimate freedom feeling for sure.
Nice. Are you gonna do that this summer as well?
Yes, but as I said, like I just got a new van, and I was supposed to build that during this winter, but now I have this customer, so I'm building hers
Yeah.
instead. So I'm gonna use my van this summer, but it's not gonna be 100% ready. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive around for sure.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see you at the Ekstremsportveko this year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Every
Yeah.
year, except for last year when it was COVID, it was kind of a bummer. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna for sure be there this year.
Nice. You remember the first time you went to Veko?
Uh, I don't know, like it kind of like merged together the first times, but because I was in Voss before Veko, so it's kind of like I don't really remember the first Veko, but actually I do. I remember we went down to the tent, and I was amazed how the organization put up this whole event with like the festival area and different activities around, and like the skydive demos and paragliding demos, and like that was kind of like I remember those demos actually the first time I was there with the big Bula flag.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what's your favorite thing about Veko?
Meeting the people, getting experienced people from all different sports, and to see the passion in all these different sports, like to and listen to people, what people have for stories about them and what they've been doing and where they are at and what their goals are. Having a beer in the evening and talking shit with them, and I think like the not only to do this like to go skydiving or base jumping, it's more about the meeting, the meeting of people, I feel.
Yeah.
Because like usually like the activities I'm doing anyway, and this is just like an opportunity to meet these all different people, and you get you get what do you call it, inspired by and curiosity of trying new things.
Yeah. So have you ever tried anything else than your own sports at Veko?
Oh yeah. I've been doing river rafting and a little bit of bouldering, climbing,
Yeah.
paragliding, speed riding, a little bit of longboarding.
Yeah. How'd that go?
How'd they go?
Yeah.
I actually got caught up in this little gravel thing, so I like kind of like went on did a face plant, but it wasn't too bad, and I didn't have any protection, so I was like after that, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I need to put more protection. Okay.
Yeah. But being a professional extreme sport athlete, you get pretty accustomed to being in like fast-paced environments and like pushing your comfort zone all the time, and maybe not all the time, but like on a regular basis. But I would like to hear what you consider to be extreme. What scares you?
What scares me is when I when I have too much adrenaline. It's just an indication of that I'm not well prepared. If I'm well prepared, then it's not too scary. But I'm still scared, but in a controlled way. But if I'm scared, like shaking scared, then it's an indication that I'm not prepared.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think. But I mean, like there's a bunch of scary situations. Like let's say if I'm working on a skydive event, for example, and you have a group that you don't know the people in, and how they're gonna fly, that could be a little bit scary, you know.
Yeah.
Before you know them, so you need to take it easy from the beginning and build the group up, you know.
Yeah.
So you're not going like 100% hardcore the first jump.
Yeah.
So I think you just need to have respect for it. In the end of the day, it's easy to lose that when everything is just fun and it's rainbows and unicorns and like everybody's skydiving in the sunshine. So it's easy to forget that like it's a risky sport you're dealing with. So you need to just have the limits of not going too hard.
Yeah. Are you good at restraining yourself?
I mean, I'm getting better and better the older I get. But there's for sure sometimes like I find myself in situations that like when I think about afterwards, like, oh man, that was really stupid. Luckily, I've been okay pretty much so far.
Yeah. Do you have any like Freaky Friday stories? Like one particular incident that you were like, oh fuck, I'm not doing that again.
I mean, I have a bunch of freaky stories, but especially like I think the most freaky stories are from skydiving, to be honest, and like not from myself, but like within groups. They're like people that falling through the groups and colliding and stuff like that. That is the most freaky memories I have, I think.
Yeah, because when you look at a skydiving video where people fly the same speed, it doesn't look like it's going too fast. But if you're going on a belly and someone passes you like head up or head down, swoosh, it looks like Iron Man flying past somebody.
Yeah.
So I think that is for me as well is pretty nerve-wracking. That if someone like spots wrong or too quick out of the plane, they can actually just like fly through you.
Yeah. Obviously, like everybody's flying relative to each other. So as you say, like it doesn't feel like it's going. It feels pretty mellow when you see it. But imagine if you're like driving on the highway full speed and you're passing cars. It doesn't feel like you pass it then too fast because you're driving pretty much a little bit over the speed limit what your neighbor is doing. But if you just step on your brakes and having people behind you, an accident's gonna happen. You know.
Yeah.
So
I remember Anna Moxness was showing me. I was at the Free Fly Basic in Florida, and they were having this like introduction to tracking, and then you can see some like freaky moments from tracking groups when people fall out of their group and try to come back, and that does not look like fun when people just like charge into the group.
Yeah. Those are the times, the freaky memories I have when things like that happens, you know.
Yeah.
And but in the day, like it's a risky sport, and you just need to have these things in mind and do the best of the jumps in a secure, the most secure way as possible.
Yeah. And do you have any like? How do you like stay safe while you're skydiving? Do you have any like rules that you have set for yourself?
I mean, I have a bunch of rules, but like it's not like I have a routine of them. It's just like they're just there, you know.
Yeah.
And like depending on what kind of jumps you're doing and where you put your people in, like you first of all, like if I haven't been jumping with a group before, I kind of first of all I ask a previous organizer what he's been doing and like who did anybody do anything weird on your jumps or things like that, and then I trying to like I have a dialogue with the group first. Yeah. And asking them what they could do, like if they could fly on their back and belly, or you know, like just to see what they have for skills, and then I like kind of compose a jump for everybody to be feeling like they're what do you call it? Like so everybody are challenged, you know?
Yeah.
But in the most safe ways possible.
Yeah. Nice. But how did you go from skydiving into wingsuiting? Because you've been competing at a high level, like wingsuiting, right? I've seen you in Rebel Aces, among other things. So how did you get into wingsuiting? Was that like a natural progression, as you said?
Actually, I did my first wingsuit jump in 2003. And I did, at that time, the wingsuits were not very fun. Like, it was kind of slow. Like, everybody was just plowing through the sky, like, pretty much like delta tracking on your AFF course.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a really thrilling discipline to do. Yeah. And then I started to, when the new wingsuits came up, and like me and Jocke, we started to do some free flying in the wingsuits. And then Alex, he was in the same time there too, and Scott Plammer was there, and Carlos Pedro was there, and we just like found this new thing where you could just do pretty much everything what you're doing in free fly, but in a wingsuit too.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more power.
Yeah.
So I think that's when I felt like when the sensation of when you feel like you can start to dive and you can use those new wingsuits as fighter jets. Pretty much, you can dive and you can gain a lot of power and speed, and you can flare and you can go upwards in the sky and meet 0 G, and everything gets quiet in the middle of the sky. And then you can start dive again, and like that's when I start to feel like, oh fuck, this is pretty cool, you know.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
at
that's
the same
insane. I
time,
don't know.
the Red Bull Aces came up to the chart, and I got an invitation for it because Luke Akins, he wanted to have people that he could trust, like it was kind of like a new way of competition, like a wingsuit cross.
Yeah.
So he wanted to have people that he could trust and to minimize or like taking away the chances of people getting hurt.
Yeah.
So and that's when we did the Rebel Aces, which was probably the most insane thing ever done in my life, to be honest. It's pretty intense. Like, you don't think about it when you're in the middle of it, but when you see the videos after, it's like, whoa, shit, did I do that? You know?
But okay, so take me through the Rebel Aces, because that you jump from a helicopter and you're supposed to go through a course.
Yeah, so we're jumping from a Huey helicopter, like the one they used in Vietnam War, or like the old ones. It's a good helicopter with like a big one that it's not too unstable when you jump off 4 people at the same time.
Yeah.
Then they build up a course with other smaller helicopters with having pylons hanging underneath, and you have tracking devices on your helmet, and you have tracking devices or GPS on the pylons, and you have like 4 or 5 different pylons before you enter the last one, which is the goal.
Yeah.
So and you can't be more than maximum, I think it was 6 feet. If you're closer than 6 feet from the pylon, you're disqualified, because that like tells you that you're pushing it too hard.
Yeah.
And that's it's too dangerous. So and you're jumping off 4 people at the same time, and you just like it's been collision there too, with pretty nasty ones.
Yeah.
No one that has hurt themselves badly, but like I had Dukes, one really good wingsuit and base jumper. He collided with me, not too hard, but like he came from the side and like hit my knuckle with his ribs. So he broke 3 ribs or 2 ribs or whatever it was in mid-flight. Yeah. And he came down like this. I just felt the bump, like, and I didn't think too much about it. And then we landed. He was like, Petter, you okay? You okay? Well, yeah. Like, oh, I think I'm hurt. So he broke 3 ribs. So it could get nasty. But it was a pretty cool competition, a good concept for sure. Really, really crowd friendly. You see you can stand on the ground and see, because all the competitors have different color smoke.
Yeah.
So you can see who's in the lead, you know.
Nice.
And you're just standing on the ground and just like, come on, you know.
Oh, that's so cool. But the helicopters with the pylons, are they hovering lower and lower and lower as you go?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we jump out from 6,000 feet, and the last helicopter, like the last pylon, is on, I don't know, like 3,000 feet to 2,500 feet or something.
Yeah. And you go with skydive rigs or base rigs?
Skydive rigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, but you also got a pilot's license not too long ago,
No,
eh?
I don't have the license yet.
Oh,
I have a student license.
oh yeah,
So I can fly. I'm endorsed to fly to certain airports by myself,
yeah,
but I'm not allowed to just take it and fly to California.
yeah.
But
So what's your plan
it's
with
just a work in progress.
yeah? So what's your plan with the flying planes?
Uh, Mostly because I love flying, and felt like it was kind of natural way to branch out to. Like I've been in the flying industry for 20 years, so
Yeah,
feel like why not going towards fixed wing airplanes,
yeah,
and just to have the mobility pretty much too, to like be able to get to point A to B like birdway, it's kind
yeah.
of nice. And I was having in mind to maybe go towards a commercial path with it, but now with the pandemic and stuff, like you kind of like put everything on ice at the moment.
Yeah, it's
So
not
I
good
haven't
business
been
right
flying
now.
in a while now, to be honest. But I want to. I have my own airplane that I bought with a friend in Arizona, a small
Rudolph.
Piper from '68, Rudolph.
But how does that feel compared to all the other flying stuff you do? Like getting in a small aircraft and flying by yourself from A to B?
Oh, it's scary. It's more it's more scary to fly the plane than to jump with the rig,
Yeah.
Because
Did
I
you ever
feel like I have more like in an airplane you have the engine. If that fails, like I mean you can land without an engine for sure, but that's what we do all the time in skydiving, but in a controlled area, you
Yeah.
know. If you're like out flying and you have no feels or no outs, and you're having an engine failure, you're like, oh shit, you know, because
Do you ever
you kind of
consider
like get a
putting
little
on
bit.
your rig off?
What's
What?
that?
I said, did you ever consider putting on your rig while flying?
I have, but it's like it's pretty hard to open the door when you're in an airplane, like
Yeah.
the same way as you open, like try to open your door on in your car on a highway.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same, but worse.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
But like it was kind of it was I took my license or taking my license in Arizona, so it's like I mean it's desert, so you have a lot of outs. So it's not as scary as if you would be I don't know, upstate New York or something, or like
Mm.
or like above New York where there's like just houses everywhere. Like you have Hudson River,
Yeah. Yeah.
famous
People have
Hudson.
landed it before.
Yeah, I know. I flew with a friend up the Hudson River, like Sushi. He's a good friend of mine, a student. I coached in the tunnel. He invited me for a flight up Hudson River in the evening or in the nighttime. We flew past Manhattan. It was pretty sick. It was like a Christmas tree, almost like it was pretty awesome. But I
Yeah.
don't want to be. I don't want to have an engine failure there.
I think that'll suck a little bit.
Mm.
But do you do any like because you have been I remember you and Micah did these live things during these events. You had this that microphone
Oh,
connected
the
to
golden
your
mic.
yeah, the golden mic. You still do those?
I haven't done it in a while. Like I think the last one I did was in at the base day in Gudvangen at the last Extreme Sports Week.
Yeah.
Um, so I've been putting that on hold a little bit too. Like I guess I've been focusing on different things, and it's quite
Yeah.
exhausting too. Like it's uh, it's more exhausting than you think. Like after a day like that, just doing live feed, like I'm
Yeah.
so tired. Like it's just like like
Yeah, but
But
you're
it's
really good
fun.
at
Like
it.
when you're in the zone and everything just flows, you know, like it's super
Yeah,
fun, you know, and you're having good people that you talk to and everybody's connected and like blah, 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 blah. Those times are fun, but then also there's times when people are not that engaged and you need to like bring out the engagement, and that's the
yeah,
exhausting thing, you know.
yeah.
But
You should
I'm maybe
bring
I'm
it back
gonna
this summer.
pick it up next Extreme Sport Week. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be exciting to see how this pandemic plays out for this summer. But we're planning on doing the festival no matter what, and the sports are happening. But
Yeah.
it depends on if we can go to the tent in the evening or if it's gonna be like concerts and stuff. But fingers crossed. Hopefully, we'll
Yeah.
know soon if we can do it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are your plans for the coming years? Do you have any like goals or stuff you want to accomplish?
Yeah, I wanted to like Jokke Summer. He's down in Nazaré now in Portugal and doing a lot of tow and surfing. And I was supposed to go there this winter and join him for a couple of sessions there. But now I have, as I said, the van that I need to. I have deadline for May 1st, so
Yeah.
I need to get ready. I need to like do the van, like put
Yeah.
that in first place. So the big wave surfing and tow and surfing is a little bit on hold, but that is something that I want to put more time into.
Yeah. Have
I'm
you
doing
done it a
some more
lot
surf
before?
trips as well.
Yeah. Have you done a lot of big wave surfing before?
I mean, not too much. Did a little. It's like I mean, some. I've been in Nazaré a couple of times, and did my first tow in Hawaii in like 5 years ago, 5 years ago. Dave McNamara. He told me no Garrett, sorry, Garrett McNamara. He told
Yeah.
me on my first wave in Hawaii.
I think I've seen that. Is that from the Living the Dream series?
Yeah,
Yeah. That
yeah,
looks sick.
that was my first tow and wave. I was scared as shit. Like
Oh man.
I was lying in the water. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, like, but it wasn't too bad. Like the thing is, like when you're doing ordinary like paddle into wave surfing, the waves are so much bigger because you're like on the bottom lying on your board. But as
Yeah.
soon as you're up on the wave, it's not that bad. It's like almost riding a snowboard,
Really?
chasing by an avalanche, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Yeah. No, that was a fun little series. Are you gonna do more of that series, Living the Dream, with Alex and the guys?
maybe we'll see. Like the boys now, like Yoki and Alex, they're having this team called Team Uprising that they
Yeah.
are going full on with. So we'll see in the future when they have time to do things like that. It would be cool to do like a recap of Living the Dream for sure. I kind of
Yeah.
enjoyed those series. It was super fun. Like we had a lot of good times.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you guys do like a lot of different stuff. Like some things is like Free Fly the World, and some is like Uprising. And when you do like project stuff like that and make things happen, I think that is really inspiring for a lot of people. Even no matter like the ambition level or the quality, I think don't think that matters that much. But just like going out and doing something, and just like having fun and also showing the world. I think that's really cool, and I really think you should do more of that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm
Yeah,
gonna take it to me. I'm gonna try to.
yeah. You should do like Peta goes to Norway series. I think that would be cool. Just like
Yeah.
just like a base jumper's guide to Norway. Just like going to all the known spots, opening another bunch of new spots, and like it's a cool. How's base jumping in Sweden, by the way? Is there
I
any?
mean, we don't have any mountains here. I mean, we have some small ones, but not as Norway. So like,
Yeah,
it's just more antennas and and windmills here.
Yeah.
But I'm not into the low stuff. I kind of like the higher stuff where you can fly. You know, I'm into
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So like it's not much to jump from here except for those things.
Yeah. I bet Danish base jumping is like how low can you go?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah. How high is the highest mountain in Denmark? Is it like 80 meters or something like that?
Yeah, probably some
It's not high.
some lime cliff somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. But I saw you you and what's his name? Is it the guy from Solsidan? Is it William? You guys,
Felix Landgren.
yeah, Felix. You guys made the most epic skydiving suits ever.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I convinced him to participate in the nationals in tunnel flying in Sweden.
Yeah.
So and we wanted to make a fun thing with it, you know. So we got the suits printed as like it looked like you had a bare top, like really muscular, and just jeans on, and like a lot of tattoos, you know.
Oh man, I couldn't believe it at first. I was like, "Is this serious?" Yeah, it is serious, and it's so much fun, man.
It was weird, man. Like it's like it felt like you were naked. Like you really felt you were like didn't have any clothes on, you know. It was just, oh yeah, it was super funny. Like it was hard to keep focus. Like when we were like walking the lines, and he was like just playing all serious, you know, and like walking with that suit. It's just like, oh man, like.
But how did it go? Is he a skydiver as well, or did he just like start flying with you, or what was
Yeah,
his
he
thing?
was he came to the tunnel when they opened in 2015, and he flew with me for the first time, him and his family, and then I told him like, 'cause he came back one time, and I told him like, if you want to fly more, you could join my camps, you know, like I'm here every now and then to coach. So he's been flying with me pretty much ever since, except for this past year because of the pandemic and stuff. He has some because he's a producer for these TV series in Sweden. So he has a hard time to put get the crew together with all Corona, like some guy gets Corona and here and there, you know. So like he hasn't been flying very much this year, but hopefully he's going to take it up soon. Like we've been talking a little bit. He's quite excited to get back into it.
Yeah, seems like a fun guy too.
He's super funny.
All right. So what else is on your plate now? The coming year.
Now on this Friday, I'm leaving for New York. I'm going there for a week for coaching.
Yeah.
And in the tunnel there, I'm going I'm usually in New York like 3-4 times a year, coaching in Westchester Tunnel. And after that, I'm going to Florida to participate in Fly for Life camp. It's my Venezuelan friends that are throwing those camps in the land like 2 times a year. So I'm always there and having a good time with the guys. And so I'm doing that for 2 weeks after New York. Then I'm going back home and trying to finish up the van, you know. Nice. And then it's like it's May and it's like closing up to summertime and having all the events during the summer too. I have a couple of things going on in Stockholm and Västerås this summer, and I'm planning on we were a couple of friends that went up to Lofoten last summer. Me and Hege, and Hege that did the base days in Gudvangen before.
Yeah.
And Christian Solli and his wife Katrina, we went up to Lofoten. It was the most insane trip I ever done. Like I love northern Norway. I need to go back. It was like it was insane.
Yeah, it is. I was just in just outside Buda for a week.
Mm.
It is so beautiful. We went
No,
swimming on the
it's like
beach.
it hurts. It's like you
Yeah,
get religious when you see it almost.
yeah. I mean, there was snow on the beach, and then it was sunny, so it was just like snow, beach, water. And we went swimming, and it wasn't even cold. It was like so nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
super, and the water is like feels like you're in the Mediterranean. It's so crystal blue water, like
yeah,
so clean. And yeah, I had me and Christian. We had almost an incident last year. We went to Unstad Beach, the famous surf beach up in
yeah,
Lofoten, and we had our stand-up paddle boards with us. So we just paddled up to the lineup because I wanted to get the shot. You know, it was
yeah,
quite decent waves. You know, like I mean, head high maybe, and
yeah.
just paddle like I had. It was super warm too. Like it was probably like 22, 23 degrees outside. So I was just in my board shorts, and the water temperature is like 12. You know, it's
Yeah.
like super cold water. People in the line after surfing, they have like 5, 6 mil wetsuits.
Yeah.
And we're there with our board shorts, just like la la la, paddling our stand-up paddle boards. Okay, I need to take the shot. I need to get the shot. So let's paddle like closer to the lineup. And then this set just came in. It's like no, it's like just like this big badass paddleboard with no wetsuit, and just like panicking, trying to like paddle like across the wave, the breaking.
Yeah.
Okay, we barely made it, but it was quite intense. It was funny.
Nice.
Uh,
So I have to ask you because I heard that you were flying with the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu guys.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Are they good at
I'm actually
flying?
staying with Igor now when I'm going to New York. I'll stay with him last time too.
Nice. That's so cool. I started training Jiu-Jitsu like 2 years ago.
Oh,
And
cool.
yeah, and I was like, how small is the world? I'm following you and you're flying in the tunnel and suddenly you're like coaching those guys. I'm like, it's
Yeah,
crazy. Such a small world.
yeah. Hall is
You
one
get
of
it?
the older brother. Like he's so big. Like he's massive. You know.
Yeah.
So like it's almost like he can reach from one wall to the other where in the tunnel. Like he's huge, and I'm like coaching head down with him. It's like I feel so intimidated. It's like whoa, you know. But he's
Yeah.
like the biggest teddy bear there is. Like he's awesome, and
Yeah.
Igor too. Like he looks like he's the most dangerous guy in the world, but he's super humble and super kind. Like
Yeah.
we're really good friends.
Yeah. While still being one of the most dangerous guys in the world.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Are there skydiving too?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna meet Hollis now in Deland. He's gonna go there at the camp that I'm organizing.
Nice.
Mm.
And what about Angle Week? Are you still making those in Sweden?
No, it's not. Last year was like the pandemic years. It was like a little bit up and down, and I couldn't participate last year because of my mom had some stuff like she was. She needed to have some help in her backyard and stuff, and
Yeah.
because she's been sick a little bit, so I just choose to go to her. And this year it's like a little bit uncertain because of the pandemic too. It's like it's hard to plan something when you don't
Yeah.
really know what's going to happen, you know. And
Mm.
I'm not the organizer of the event. I'm just an organizer, like jump
At the
organizer.
event.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Okay. Yeah.
like the event organizer, so I'm just looking what's going to happen here, but I think it's going to be on hold this year too, I think.
Yeah. I see. All right, Pata. It was nice talking to you. We almost went an hour now. So,
Yeah.
do you have anything else you want to add before we end this podcast?
No, yeah, like I'm super stoked that Extreme Sport Week is going to happen, no matter how many people it's going to be. I'm looking forward to be there and see you and to fly with you in the tunnel finally, maybe.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
flying with Bart and Eirik Flyvassen now. So I'm trying to like pick up my skills. I'm gonna fly a bunch of hours before the season starts.
Nice.
But yeah, should do some foxy jumps too.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah. teach me
Oh,
some
I
of
look
that.
forward to get to Voss again and to see all my friends, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever consider moving to Voss?
It crossed my mind several times. Well, we'll see. Like, I'm actually, yeah, we'll see. I'm not gonna say too much, but we'll see. Like, I have a big chunk of my heart is in Voss for sure.
Nice. All right. I'll hope that plays out.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Pata. Where can people find you if they want to follow your journey?
They can find me on Instagram. I haven't been too active on my Instagram account lately. I've just been taking a little bit break, figure things out. Like, but I'm gonna start posting a little bit of the van build I'm doing, and continue now when I'm in New York, and yeah, give you like a WhatsApp in there, and in the land at Fly for Life camp. But like mostly on my Instagram, Peter Mazzetta.
Nice.
You can find me and see what I'm up to.
Sweet. All right, Peter. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you this summer at Veko.
Awesome. Thank you, Andreas.
All right. Bye.
Peace out. Bye.